Usually behaves himself, doesn't he? He usually behaves himself, doesn't he? Okay. Okay, here we go, mate. Thumbs up.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please be upstanding for the arrival of the official party. Her Excellency, the Honourable Margaret Beasley, Governor of New South Wales, and Mr Dennis Wilson, the Honourable Yasmin Catley MP, Minister for Police and Counter-Terrorism, and Minister for the Hunter, Commissioner-Designate, Mal Lanyon, and Superintendent Kelly Langley, and the Governor's Official Secretary, Colonel Michael Miller.
We know when you're off plane, mate. What's in D?
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please remain standing for the national anthem. All uniformed personnel will salute.
Mic on?
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the swearing-in ceremony of the 24th Commissioner of the New South Wales Police Force, Mal Lanyon. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mark Hayes, and I will be your Master of Ceremonies throughout today's proceedings. Before commencing, please now allow me to welcome Probationary Constable Tamara Fuller to perform the acknowledgement to country. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Tamara Amy Fuller from Glebe Police Station. I'm a proud Wiradjuri woman, and it is such an honour to be here today. I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet on today, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. I pay my respects to their elders, past and present, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here with us today. It is a privilege to come together on Gadigal land for such a significant occasion. I would like to acknowledge the Commissioner, Mr. Mal Lanyon, and wish him every success in his leadership and the important work that lies ahead in serving and protecting the people of New South Wales. Thank you.
Thank you, Constable. It is now my honour to invite Her Excellency, the Honourable Margaret Beasley, Governor of New South Wales, to address the ceremony.
Thank you, Inspector. I too acknowledge the Gadigal, the traditional custodians of the lands on which we gather this morning, and I pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging, and I extend that respect to the elders of all parts of our state from which you have travelled and on which you work. Minister, Deputy Commissioners, members of the New South Wales Police Force, family, distinguished guests all. Last Friday, at an Executive Council meeting at Government House, Sydney, I had the privilege of approving the Executive Council minute appointing the 24th Commissioner of the New South Wales Police Force, Mal Lanyon. The Official Secretary will pronounce the instrument of appointment shortly as we mark the formal commencement today of Commissioner Lanyon's term. The role of Police Commissioner has its genesis in the New South Wales Police Regulation Act of 1850, which was the first legislative attempt to amalgamate the various separate policing bodies then working in the colony of New South Wales under the same administrative umbrella. To superintend this consolidated force, the Act established the role of Inspector General of Police to be appointed by the Governor. Hence, on the 1st of January 1851, William Spain, a solicitor, and our very first Inspector General of Police, was appointed by my predecessor, Sir Charles Augustus Fitzroy, the 10th Governor of New South Wales. This newly consolidated force was, however, to be short-lived, when the British government disallowed the 1850 Act. Under the Police Regulation Act of 1852, replacing the earlier repealed Act, the new role of Inspector General continued, but with a domain reduced to the general superintendence of the police force within the metropolitan district of the colony. By the early 1860s, and particularly following the Lambing Flat riots, the inefficiencies of a decentralised and fragmented mode of policing were too glaring to avoid, and the Police Regulation Act of 1862 was passed and given assent by Sir John Young, the 12th Governor of New South Wales. In bringing together, finally, the various agencies previously responsible for policing in New South Wales into a single amalgamated body, the New South Wales Police Force, as we know it today, was established. John McCleary, who had been appointed Inspector General in 1856 with jurisdiction over the County of Cumberland, continued on in that role, but now leading the expanded and colony-wide force. 70 years later, on the 8th of January 1926, the role's title was changed to Commissioner of Police during the 15-year term of Inspector General James Mitchell, although the role's title change would not be legislatively enacted until the passage of the Police Regulation Amendment Act of 1935. Our new Commissioner as well as I'm sure many of you here today, are perhaps a little too familiar with my musings on the storied history of the New South Wales Police Force, particularly during the many attestation parades that I have attended with you over the years. But that's for good and important reason. History and tradition are vital foundations from which evolution and growth are able to come. And I hope you, Commissioner, are thinking now, in this full circle moment in your career, of that time when you stood on the parade ground in Goulburn and swore your oath of office. Because that oath which is required by Act of Parliament, distills within it the guiding principles from which every action undertaken by officers of our New South Wales Police Force should and do ultimately spring. They are words as old as the New South Wales Police Force itself, instituted through the Police Regulation Act of 1862. These words are neither idle or tokenistic. They are a solemn and serious vow. To our police, who are entrusted with responsibilities that no other profession share, they tell us that as police officers, they serve in and for community. Our police officers protect and enforce the laws that keep all of us safe, and always, at every turn, in circumstances which are often challenging and dangerous, and in fact we can say often too challenging and dangerous, it is their oath and their duty to act with the utmost diligence, integrity and respect, and at all times faithfully according to law. That oath and its diligent fulfilment is as important a lodestar to the probationary constable beginning their careers in the New South Wales Police Force as it is to its most senior officer. And so, to you, Commissioner, may I say this. You have the experience. You have been acting Commissioner on 2 occasions, a Deputy Commissioner since 2019, as well as Northern New South Wales Recovery Coordinator and Chief Executive Officer on the New South Wales Reconstruction Authority. You have served on the front line of policing, beginning here in the Leichhardt PAC, including service in the Homicide Squad and as Commander of the Gangs Squad, State Crime Command and Special Services Group. You have the skills that will serve you well. Equally important, however, is your continued commitment to your oath as a police officer, which you took on the very first day of your policing career. Last week, our Premier made a quip. I think he does that often. He said that you are stepping into one of the toughest jobs in the state. I was going to quip back and say who would disagree with our Premier, but I think the better response is no one would disagree with that observation. You are stepping into one of the toughest jobs in this state and indeed across our nation. And it goes without saying that this is one of the most important jobs in our state and in our nation. You have the confidence of our Premier, you have the confidence of your Minister, you have the trust of your colleagues, and most importantly, you have the trust of our community. Congratulations, I wish you the very best.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I now invite the Governor's Official Secretary, Colonel Michael Miller, to pronounce the instrument of appointment.
An instrument of appointment. Greetings to Malcolm Arthur Lanyon. I, the Honourable Margaret Joan Beasley, Companion of the Order of Australia, King's Counsel, Governor of the State of New South Wales within the Commonwealth of Australia, acting on the recommendation of the Honourable Yasmin Catley, Minister for Police and Counter-Terrorism and Minister for the Hunter, and with the advice of Executive Council on the 26th of September 2025, approve the appointment of the aforementioned Malcolm Arthur Lanyon to the position of Commissioner of the New South Wales Police Force from the 1st of October 2025, pursuant to Section 24(1) of the Police Act 1990. Signed, Margaret Beasley, Governor of New South Wales.
Thank you, Colonel Miller. Thank you, Your Excellency. It is now my pleasure, great pleasure, to invite to the microphone the 24th Commissioner of the New South Wales Police Force, Commissioner Malcolm Lanyon. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mark, very much. Her Excellency, the Honourable Margaret Beasley, ACKC, Governor of New South Wales. The Honourable Yasmin Catley, MP, Minister for Police and Counter-Terrorism. To all distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's an absolute pleasure to be here this morning. I'm deeply honoured to be here today at Balmain Police Station to be sworn in as the 24th Commissioner of the New South Wales Police Force. I still remember walking into the Glebe Police Station for the first time in March 1987. It does seem a long time ago. Balmain was the head station for Outer Vision at that time. I had just turned 19 and was feeling pretty proud of myself, having recently attested as a probationary constable. The job has taught me a lot, and most importantly, I've been able to help people, which was my first and foremost goal when I joined the police force. I follow in the footsteps of commissioners who have shaped this organisation with integrity, courage and commitment. I want to acknowledge and thank my predecessor, Karen Webb. Karen led with great integrity and compassion and introduced initiatives which have put the organisation in a great position for the future. These include paying recruits to study, ensuring we attract the best and brightest to our ranks. She also oversaw a new award agreement that delivered a significant baseline salary increase, recognising the service, productivity and professionalism of our officers. I will continue to focus on frontline capability, to have a modern and responsive police force, one that embraces innovation, strengthens community partnerships and puts people first. To my family and friends and loved ones, thank you for the ongoing support. And I'd like to acknowledge specifically my mum, who's here today and travelled down from the coast. I know you'll cry. To my colleagues and mentors, many who have supported me throughout my career and a large number who are here today, thank you for your guidance and belief. I'd like to take this opportunity to particularly mention Sergeant Ian Cameron Miller, whose nickname was Spud. Sergeant Miller gave 45 years of service to the communities, particularly of Glebe and Balmain. He was at Glebe when I first started in 1987. Sergeant Miller retired last year and I had the honour of speaking at his march-off. Tragically, several months later, Sergeant Miller passed away unexpectedly, and I again had the honour of speaking at his funeral. Sergeant Miller is missed by his family, by the communities that he served so diligently, but by his colleagues who he mentored and worked very closely with, and I think it's really important. I would hope that Ian is looking down on us all today. To the people of New South Wales, I am dedicated to serving you. You can have full confidence that I accept this appointment with clear understanding of the challenges ahead and a firm commitment to serve the state. The role carries a profound responsibility, not just to uphold the law, but to lead with fairness, transparency and compassion. Trust is earned through action. I will work to ensure our communities feel safe, heard and respected. Just as importantly, I will ensure that our police have the support they need to serve our diverse communities and protect the most vulnerable amongst us. I owe a debt to this organisation. It has given me a career, a family lifelong friends and colleagues. It has shaped my life in ways I could have never imagined. I'd like to thank Minister Catley, who is here with us today, and the government for their trust and confidence in my leadership. Today is a moment of pride, but also of purpose. I step into this role not alone, but with an exceptional executive team and the strength of every officer, every staff member, and every community we serve. Together we are dedicated to public safety and community trust, and together we will continue to build a police force that reflects the very best of New South Wales. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. It is now my honour to invite the Honourable Yasmin Catley MP to address the ceremony. Thank you.
What an exciting day. It's an honour to stand here today to mark the appointment of the 24th Police Commissioner of New South Wales, Mal Lanyon. I'd like to acknowledge our special guests, including Her Excellency, the Honourable Margaret Beasley and Mr Wilson, Commissioner Mal Lanyon, and our Deputy Commissioners, and all serving police officers that are joining us today. Thank you so much for making the time to be here. The role of Police Commissioner is one of the most important public service roles in the state of New South Wales. It demands exceptional leadership, a modern vision, and a deep commitment to keeping our community safe. Mal Lanyon has all of these: the skills, the values, and a vision sharpened by almost 4 decades of service. Mal first walked through the doors of the Glebe Police Station, part of the Balmain Command, on March 27, 1987, as a probationary constable. It was then known as the 8th Division. It included Annandale, Glebe, Leichhardt and Balmain. Today is another milestone in his policing career, as he is sworn in as Commissioner. Mal cut his teeth on the front line, working in general duties and criminal investigations for his first 7 years in the force. Here in Balmain, he was chasing notorious criminals like Nookie Brennan, Warren Richards and Glenn Flatt. They were all bad bastards, but he caught them all. The quite young constable, as I'm told, known as the Richie Cunningham of Glebe, blended in naturally. He immediately signed up to the rugby league team. He was ordinary at best. Turns out footy wasn't his sport. He was incredibly fit, but he was a soccer player, a gifted golfer, and pretty handy at cricket too. However, his motivation to join the footy team meant he joined the boys on the footy Bali trip. They were known as the worst team with the best sponsors. Mal was popular amongst his colleagues and was considered likeable and very reliable. Mal has worked across a number of specialist commands: the Drug Enforcement Squad, the Homicide Squad, and the Gang Squad, to name a few. He's led thousands of officers, both as the Commander of the State Crime Command and more recently as Deputy Commissioner of Metropolitan Field Operations. He was instrumental in establishing the Domestic Violence Command and Operation Emerrock. And for the past year and a half, he's been seconded to the Reconstruction Authority, helping our community rebuild after that terrible natural disasters. What an incredible career, dedicated to serving our community, a community that Mal knows almost inside out, having seen the very worst of people and the very best. Today marks a new chapter for the New South Wales Police Force. We've made no secret of the fact we're facing challenges in policing: recruitment and retention, youth crime, organised crime, domestic violence. There's a long list. Mal shares these priorities and is ready to lead the New South Wales Police Force into the future. Under your leadership, the New South Wales Police Force can continue to go from strength to strength, protecting and serving the people of this great state. The New South Wales Government backs our police to the hilt, and I'm really excited about what lies ahead and what we can achieve together. Mal, today is a culmination of 4 decades of dedication to service. You join the rare few who have achieved every rank in the New South Wales Police Force. Congratulations.
Thank you, Minister. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this now concludes this morning's official ceremony. Can I ask you to please stand for the departure of the official party? Thank you all for joining us here this morning, and I invite all guests to join the official party and Commissioner Lanyon over morning tea. Thank you and good morning.